Thank you, Smithy, and good afternoon, everyone. Yes, we started with 12 about 3 months ago. Now we're down to 4. The first semi-final to be played here at Eden Park this afternoon between the Auckland Blues and the Otago Highlanders. And as you can see, the public of Auckland have responded. And I might say too, Murray, probably the public of the Highlanders region too. There seems to be a lot of support up here for the Highlanders.
Well, it's typical. Wherever you go around New Zealand now, you see these yellow and blue flags everywhere, and of course they're really into the antics, aren't they, the painted faces and the gear. It's almost as though they're taking a trip back to their university days. It's remarkable, good to see. Tony
Gilbert, not too many people knew who this man was at the start of the season, but he's fashioned this Otago Highlanders side into a semi-finalist as Tane Randall prepares to bring the Highlanders onto Eden Park for the second time this season, although of course Randall wasn't here on the first occasion. Come to Eden Park with just one change from last week against the Bulls, but it's a significant change. Simon Culhane preferred the number 10 jersey to Tony Brown in what must have been a very close call. The Southerners have had wonderful value from this entire 15 this season, but today there'll be a lot asked of the front three, Muse, Oliver and Hoft against Brown, Roos and Dowd. Tane Randall is the captain of the Highlanders. Simon Culhane, he's a man for the big occasion, that's never been in doubt. Tony Gilbert has gone for him today. Tane Randall could be a bit quick for Tane Randall. Now we go back under the stand. Michael Jones and the Auckland Blues.
Well, it's fairly easy to see which is the home team.
The Blues have Mark Carter back today after he missed last weekend against the Hurricanes, and this means that Andrew Blowers misses out. The obvious strengths in this side are out wide, where Lomu and Vindiri both scored 2 last weekend, and in the tight 5, where Royce Willis is developing by the week. Michael Jones captains the Blues.
Jonah Lomu, he's the man that everybody's trying to stop, and nobody's achieved it just yet. Today we'll tell another story, because I'm sure the Highlanders defence will be very wary of Vindiri in your picture now, and Lomu. The controversial Colin Hawke, of course, there's been a lot of talk about him in the media this week. Hasn't had great games in the past, with Otago probably on the rough end of the stick. But he's a very competent, very skilled referee. Last week he had a superb game, Auckland versus Wellington, and I'm sure he'll have one again today.
Eden Park in Auckland is the venue for the first semi-final, Super 12 1998, and Simon Culhane gets the game started, and the kick is well placed near the touchline, and we go immediately to the first line-out. And we must mention too that the breeze does favour the Highlanders in the first half. We've got both sidelines covered today. Let's go to Buck Anderson on the far side.
A super kick-off there from the Highlanders, just catching Royce Willis with nowhere to go, right on the touchline out in front of me, and they've produced a very good line-out and quick ball.
Have they ever? Here's the kick from Culhane, pushing it into the in-goal area. Lomu is back, and lovely hands from Vindiri, in fact it is, and it's a penalty. The referee was playing an advantage.
Yes, great start by Otago. Tremendous ball. I will say it was a little bit wasted by Culhane. It was kicked about 5 metres too long, allowing Auckland out of it.
Tip back in field. Culhane gets it again. That bounces off Andrew Roos. 5 metres in Blues territory. The Highlanders go up the middle.
As you said, Grant, Highlanders up the middle. They've won it twice in the forwards, and both times they've taken up the middle. They've shown their hand. They're going to take this Auckland front 5 on, and you have to do that to beat Auckland. You've got to take them on up front first.
Murray, you'd be interested there. That was the talking mic. Referee getting the advice there from his touch judge on the sideline, down the barrel of the flag to indicate that there was a knock on there, giving the Highlanders the advantage, which has turned into the scrum.
Robin Brooke was the man down early. Leo Lafayette just peeling the tracksuit top off, but he won't be required. And so far the Highlanders calling the shots after a minute and a half in the first semi-final.
Buck, you better tell us about the scrum scene. You're standing right there because this is the much vaunted young front row, the heir apparent apparently from Otago.
Yes, Colin Hawke, it's gone down there. Cashmore's on the far side, has gone down. A lot of pressure, and referee Hawke really asking for both packs to stay square. There's too much angle on the tight head side.
It's coming cleanly to Duggan. Calhane looking for Stanley. Underneath him goes Stensness, and a good tackle. And it's won by the Blues. And there was a knock-on by Tonu'u.
Almost the first turnover of the game to Auckland. A set move from Calhane here, a little dummy. And Stanley, of course, has been strong in the tackle recently, but not that time. Auckland too quick, just a small mistake, Junior.
So far, the Blues not able to get their hands on the ball. Wilson whips it across. He missed the spot tackle of Ronnie Clark. Leslie was able to move it away. Alatini over his own 10-metre line. Peter Alatini has been so strong in recent weeks. As the sun comes out at Eden Park, Calhane pushing it deep. Tonu'u going back. And he's hoping the ball will go over the line, and it does. And so he can force for a dropout 22.
Yes, of course, Simon Calhane probably under directions. Let's play the game in the Blues territory. Looking to place it down there near the touchline. I'm sure he wasn't trying to put it over the goal line.
There's a kick-off by Spencer that has been lost forward by Vinderi. Well, they're trying things, the Blues, but it didn't work out for them.
And what a great attacking opportunity. First decent scrum attacking for the Highlanders. Reasonable blindside. Look at that. Look at the depth of the back line. Many opportunities here with, of course, Wilson at the end of it, the danger man Wilson.
Well, Nisbo, interesting to point out now, both those first two kicks from Simon Culhane have gone dead. He may have underestimated the westerly wind, which is favouring the Highlanders. It's a bit stronger than he thought.
Here they come through the backs. Out as far as Wilson. Wilson on Lomu. Support comes from Laney. Fires it back in the direction of Stanley. 22-metre line, and the Highlanders continue to hang on to the ball, and they'll get it again too because it's their scrum.
Yes, I heard Colin Hawke say give him the benefit because that must have been a very close call. The key was here Stanley driving to deck and no one really getting any advantage. Stationary situation. In effect, it was a tackle ball, a tackle.
Jeremy Stanley a bit slow to go back into position. You can see him wandering across towards the left wing there.
So what a great picture we've got in front of us here.
Ripped away by Duggan to Calhane. Leslie. Calhane on the turnaround. Calhane into the gap. Dragged down by Vinderi. Well, what a superb move. And it was just the skill of Joeli Vinderi that dragged it out of the air and saved the certain try.
But Calhane, he's a big match man. Look at this, into the gap, and he took it all the way. Now he's looking for his man, throws a clean pass, and Vinderi too big, too sharp, and cut it off.
Yes, tremendous work from Joeli Vinderi there, down right in front of me again. It's great into the action. Calhane knew he had to get it over his head, but Vinderi's just too big. Plucked it out of the air and saved a certain 5 points for the Blues.
Well, not over yet, though, because it's a line out on the Blues line. And remember, it's Otago ball. What a great opportunity. They've had their scrums. Now they've got an attacking line out. This is the end of it. So Vinderi getting pushed into touch there, concedes the throw.
Here's Anton Oliver. Oh, I think he got Delta on the line out there. The referee might have more to say. Yes, he does. It was John Blakey. They got clean underneath him. And here's a penalty for the Highlanders.
No, I haven't got it.
Yeah, Robert Brooks,
Is it?
number 4.
Anything else? Just a penalty?
Just a penalty, but I would,
Yeah.
add, of course.
Yeah, and I've got the pocket full, so I leave it out, okay?
Interesting call by Colin Hawke. He said, is it just a penalty? Which meant, of course, deliberately going underneath. There's Robin Brooke going directly underneath. Set him up for the big fall, but also stopped a sure drive or an attempted drive by the Highlanders. So one could call it a professional foul. Auckland have been known for this once or twice in the past, of course.
And Colin Hawke very definitely warning Robin Brook, I've got a pocket full of yellow cards here, so leave it out. He's left in no uncertain terms anymore of that behaviour at line-out times, taking the legs out from under a player. You're going to get some time in the sin bin.
Simon Culhane on the angle from the 22-metre line. And he's pushed it wide.
Blues off the hook.
Robin Brook, the man penalised. Culhane has had a major bearing on the game so far. Here they go. Jones just trying to get their hands on it. They haven't managed it yet.
And I've got a confirmation from the side.
Even now, they're struggling because it's Otago ball.
Well, it's a great team that wants to try things right from the start, but Grant, you hit the nail on the head. Auckland haven't had the ball yet.
Duggan clears away again for Culhane. Straight across to Alatini. Here he goes again. Willis has to take the centre three-quarter in the tackle. Duggan whips it away. Lady with a drop kick. It's away to the right. Another penalty. This one's dead in front.
Cut down the option.
Offside against the Blues. And surely this time, Culhane can get the first points in the match.
And vital for the Highlanders that they do get some points against a side like the Blues. If you get point scoring opportunities and time in possession and the Blues under pressure, you must finish it off with points on the board.
It was a justified penalty, Buck. We were watching the replay and there were two Auckland players standing up in front over the advantage line, which is the offside line, of course.
No problems this time for Simon Culhane. And after 9 minutes, Tony Gilbert's side lead by 3-0.
So all that effort, all that domination. There's Tony Brown. I wonder whether he would have missed that first penalty. He's been kicking very well in the last 2 or 3 weeks. This is Auckland's opportunity to get their hands on the ball for the first time.
Looks like they might. Craig Dowd. Now Stensness. And believe it or not, what have they done? First time they get the ball, they've booted it out on the full.
It was beautifully won. Was it Robin Brook, I think, who got his hand to it?
John Blakey, clean take for the Otago Highlanders. Really the only team in the game so far. Classic. And the way they've denied the Blues the ball. Now Duggan. Straight across from Culhane to Alatini. Laney. Pretty much isolated Brendan Laney. Ball is flipped out wide to Vendiri. One-on-one. Big bang there with Jeremy Stanley. But the Blues are going to get the second phase. Spencer pushing it in behind. Well, the Blues finally, and it took some time, didn't it?
Finally, and then the touch of Spencer, the little kick over the top, it was beautifully placed. And that was a surprise. Cashmore getting there ahead of Wilson. He pinned his ears back and set it up, did the damage. And of course, that's where it finished up. So Auckland get an opportunity. And we all know they're going to drive this one.
Michael Jones wins the line-out. Channeling back for Tonu'u. Spencer across the face of Stensness to Clark. They make no bones about the tackling of Ronnie Clark. He's a danger man. And the Blues with, I think it's John Blakey down, is it?
So Ronnie Clark making the punch. There's the ball just off the ground. So that's on the blind spot for the referee. He couldn't see that the ball was off the ground. Ruled it as a ruck. Auckland going forward.
Yeah, we're going to go back.
Might go back to the penalty.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben, and a caution.
Yeah.
No yellow card against
8 here. Thank you.
Referee Getting the advice again from touch judge Walsh. Similar case to the one out earlier on that a player's legs were taken out, and referee Colin Hawke going back to award the same penalty for the same offence, and again no sin binning.
Yes, it was almost tit for tat, wasn't it? The same as we saw in the first line at the other end. So Auckland, will they take the penalty kick a goal? The question must be asked.
Well, there was some discussion about not kicking for goal, but now they've had a committee meeting and Adrian Cashmore will have a shot. Jeremy Stanley started the season, named in the Blues squad, and he's played the entire season for the Otago Highlanders.
Oh, this is a very keen game for Jeremy Stanley. Of course, he'll be playing his provincial NPC rugby for Auckland this year. He's contracted to the Auckland Union. He'll be wanting to have a big game here with both Vinduri and Lomu as opposites. Of course, they play for the Counties Union and NPC, which is just south of the Bombay Hills.
Crowd in good humour. 12 minutes gone in the first semi-final, and an opportunity here for Adrian Cashmore. 24 penalty goals in Super 12 for Cashmore in 1998. Beautifully struck by the number 15 for the Blues. And back they come. It's 3-all after 13 minutes.
Where's Josh Cromfeld? We've hardly seen him in the game so far. Much said about Cromfeld. Carter match up.
Nice kick-off from Culhane. But it was almost as if the Otago Highlanders pulled back and allowed Robin Brook to take that. Tanu'u trying to organise the drive around the side. Now they get it going. Much better that time from the Blues forward pack. Now Spencer. Clark on the bust. He's got Cashmore in support. Now he finds Cashmore. He'll be too quick. That's a brilliant try.
Exceptional try. Split them apart. Literally split them through the centre and the support play. And it's always there with this Blues side. But this is a little pass. It was the timing of the pass from Carlos Spencer that put Ronnie Clark marshalling his troops, and then he throws a pass back, the cut by Cashmore all the way through, and he was, as soon as he got the ball, it was a try all the way.
Beautiful play by Ronnie Clark, and Adrian Cashmore picks up his 4th try of the season, and it brought some of the Highlanders to their knees. It really was brilliantly executed.
Also give a rap to the tight forwards from the Blues. Great work from the kick-off, and the work of Olo Brown in setting away the drive that produced the ball for the backs to run onto. Absolutely magnificent work.
Cashmore scored all 10 points so far for the Blues, and 14 minutes gone. Culhane, let's see if the Highlanders contest this one. Yes, they do. But again, the Blues dominant at kick-off time, and they can set it almost in the same place. They march the back 15 metres now. Tanu'u. The little kick lobbed in behind. Stanley in good position though. He's got Laney. Laney's an elusive runner. Almost up to the 10-metre line, Highlanders territory. Carter's in there wrestling. And look at there, Ronnie Clark is in there helping out. Well worked by, firstly, Mark Carter. They're all in. Lovely timing of the pass. And Michael Jones, well, he doesn't make too many mistakes. But that was a clear case of knocking it on.
It was. I think the vision of the ball was covered by the Otago player to give Michael a little opportunity of an excuse, I suppose. We don't see it very often.
And he's still castigating himself down here. This blind side of the scrum, just shaking his head. He can't believe he dropped it, Michael Jones.
But that was a crucial turnover for Auckland. Laney took it in, and I think it was Carter that actually got his hands around it. Well, that's one area that, of course, is Josh Cromfeld's domain. He's been absolutely superb in the Super 12 this year. Carter not the same sort of forager normally as Cromfeld, but a very, very good open side.
Culhane sets it up for Leslie. There's Cromfeld. Randall just got in front of him briefly, and he couldn't make the pass. Michael Jones drills him to the deck, and it's coming for Duggan. Culhane back in position, works it across as far as Stanley Wilson. Away from Lomu easily. Still on his feet. Look at this. Lomu's coming from behind. Scrags him to the ground. Well, look, Wilson showed his class.
Points to Wilson. Looked like he was down, but he kept his feet going. Look at that, inside Lomu. Just trying to get through that tackle, not quite scragged, and getting away for Lomu to bury him the second time, second bite. You don't often get a second bite of the apple with Wilson.
Right, engage.
Just feeling the shoulder there, it would seem, Jonah Lomu. Probably hurt the pride more than anything else.
Well, that's right. Jonah Lomu wouldn't be wanting to go off the field injured at this stage. I remember the first Super 12 final, he had an opportunity of playing. He was ordered off and couldn't make the final. It might have been the NPC final, actually.
Yeah, one of the two. Well, Jonah Lomu's gone out to the first 5'8" position, so he's obviously going to be used here as a battering ram if they ever get the scrum sorted out. There he is. Carlos Spencer dropping back onto the left wing.
So you can see John Leslie pointing it out to the inside backs, and Randall, I think it is, standing off the scrum, that it's happening.
Xavier Rush makes the breakout from number 8 and doesn't release. So penalty against him.
There was an interesting tactic there from the Highlanders. They put Simon Culhane in the back of the scrum and put Tane Randall out at first 5'8", obviously to counter John Lomu coming in at first 5'8" off the scrum.
Yes, and Auckland, of course, deciding to have a go close to the scrum probably because of that. That's where the number 8 should have been, and Culhane, well, he is there actually, playing like a number 8. Well done, Simon.
Well, he loves to get involved, Simon Culhane. There's not a lot of him, but he's all guts and determination. There's a throw that's gone loose. Cromfeld diving on it. It was knocked back by the Blues. There's a big working over there for Mark Carter.
Shut up and go away, or I'll put a penalty on you now. Stand up. Didn't see that, eh? Saw you there.
Just have a look at Josh Cromfeld as he goes through the line. He doesn't try to pick up the ball. He just kills it dead and then gets back onto his feet. That's where his strength is as a player. He can hit the deck and get back up with the ball so quickly. Tremendous stuff. So many players would have knocked that ball on, grasping for it, and that's at that time.
Crouch and hold first. Take your time. Hold, engage.
Big chance here for the Highlanders. Duggan, Culhane, where's Wilson in all this? Straight in goes Alatini and loses it. Now the possible counter-attack. Vinderi finding Cashmore near the 22. Stensness, Robin Brook. They're onto him though. They're inside their 22 and they have to regroup. Tonu'u fires it out as far as Clark. Jones has got Lomu out there. Oliver takes on Lomu. Holds it up for Clark. Hoff gets across to take him. Some of the tight forwards really ranging wide in this game. Lomu's waiting to play it to halfback, but again he runs into Oliver. Not a great move that. And they're in touch. It's an Otago ball.
Well, that's semi-final defence by the Otago Highlanders. Tremendous stuff. The Blues looking dangerous with the ball in hand, but the defence just holding and finally culminating, and Lomu being pushed into touch. 3 tacklers. Ball to the Highlanders, of course. Still only 30 metres from the Blues line.
Reece Duggan waits. This time the throw's good. Randall releases to Hoft. He's struggling to get his hands on it. Now Duggan. Junior Tanu'u. He stepped outside the 22 here. And, yep, he did. Paul Honus saw it.
Paul Honus saw it. You saw it, Grant, but the crowd didn't see it. So the Highlanders electing to play the ball deep in the line out. The last time to Randall. And the move was to clear it from there. Auckland stopped that happening. What will they do this time? I'm picking they'll throw it to the front and try a drive on the front of the line out.
Haven't used Brendan Timmins yet. And they don't go with him this time either. Back to John Blakey once again.
They move the ball to the back to keep the ball safe.
Oliver slips it to Kronfeld. They're only 15 metres short. They've still got it there. Timmins goes in, so also does Hoft. Hoft has got it trapped in the back, joined by Randall, and now it's time to release. So Duggan hands it off. Alatini tries to slip past Spencer. Jones gets in to help out. They should get this back. They do. Stanley brings it back the other way. It's pretty heavy traffic though. Runs into Brook. But they're in good position here. 15 out right in centre field. And the referee saw the Blues offside.
Well, there's a lot of gamesmanship in rugby today, isn't it? The players were pleading with the referee to acknowledge the offside. The referee, Colin Hawke, of course, he was equal to it. He knew what was going on. He was waiting to see if there was an advantage. And there very nearly was an advantage because Jeremy Stanley, I thought, did exceptionally well in this situation as he broke through and then planted the ball. If the ball hadn't have been killed by that hand that snivelled in there, then I'm sure the ref would have carried it on, let it play. But he came back for the penalty, and here's a certain 3 points to Culhane.
Two penalty goals for Simon Culhane as Tony Brown applauds. 10-6 with about 17 minutes remaining in the first half.
So another kickoff. Interesting, Auckland have dominated this area. They've taken 3 out of the 4 kickoffs we've had so far. Robin Brook and Royce Willis.
Spencer pushing this a bit too far by the looks of things. Timmins easily. Pop back easily for the Highlanders. Duggan pushing down as far as Rush, who stayed back. Rush and Wilson. Kronfeld goes hard at Rush. Now Tanu'u. And a disappointing finish for Junior Tanu'u.
Well, Jenny has been passing a lot of ball from the scrum since he's been back from injury.
Oliver's line-out throwing has been very good so far.
Reaching over. It's on the deck. Don't care if he's on his feet or not. He's pulling the ball. You're on your feet, but the ball's down over here. I know you're on your feet.
Robin Brook not happy with the call, but it's another penalty to the Highlanders.
Well, there's Robin Brook. To me, there was nobody on their feet, so it wasn't a ruck. Have to have one man of each side on their feet for it to be a ruck.
Not straight this time from Oliver, so having just praised the guy, he throws a crooked one. Lomu lurking close to the scrum. Kick pushed down for Spencer to chase. Wilson has a quick look. Quickly unloads to Laney. Caught by Rush, but there's good support. 10-metre line in Blues territory.
It's a tackle. They're going forward. Otago scrum. Otherwise, you have a wrestle on the ground.
Referee Colin Hawke getting plenty of advice out there, which is fairly normal. And a man down for the Auckland Blues.
So Colin Hawke called it a tackle, Otago driving forward. So that was a little lesson, a lecture. I think Robin Brooke was suggesting that perhaps Auckland had recovered that ball and that the whistle shouldn't have gone.
Craig Dowd, the injured man. Opportunity to welcome our viewers in Australia on the Fox network, Mnet in South Africa, Sky Sport in England, ESPN Star in Asia. Hope you're enjoying the first semi-final from Eden Park. And yeah, we need to wait for Colin Hawke. We want to hear what he's saying.
Listen, just wait till I say engage. We're having a wee bit of trouble with the technology, so we'll just wait. No, we're going nowhere, so stand up, guys, stand up. Just stand up and have a breath, all right?
Colin obviously wants to be on air all around the world, but it is a necessary part, isn't it, for him to be able to explain to us and also to the players sometimes when they're telling him what the rules are. But it has clarified a lot of those little issues that we didn't used to know about a couple of years ago, especially for the spectator home watching the television. Of course, they're well and truly wired today, referees, aren't they? Wired to their touch judges, wired to everything. In the old days, it used to be the players that were wired. Now it's the referees.
So here we go again. Culhane, Leslie to Randall. Taken by 3 of the Blues players. Comes again cleanly to Duggan. Alatini looking to get on the outside of Tanu. Does so. Alatini. And it took a very good tackle to put him away by Adrian Cashmore. Quickly taken by the Blues, but the Highlanders were waiting.
Well, he was clearly on an offside position standing there, wasn't he? But Peter Alatini through the hole, showing the gas outside his marker. Nobody would have heard of this Peter Alatini 12 months ago. But everybody has now. He's had a superb Super 12 year.
He showed exceptional pace then to go through that gap too fast really. Ran away from Stanley, couldn't get to him in support, and it was a very good covering tackle that in the end finished him off. Just tremendous pace, he just couldn't get near anyone to unload a pass. Great tackle.
So now what are the Highlanders going to do here? They look pretty keen to have a crack at the line. They may decide now, after Craig Dowd was ruled offside, to go to Simon Culhane. Yes, Peter Alatini. He's been around the Super 12 teams, all right. Started with the Crusaders in '96. Went to the Chiefs in '97. And here in 1998, he's with his third side, the Highlanders.
I remember seeing this young man at the Adelaide Sevens 2 years ago. And he set it alight with that fast leg work that he seems to have. He generates a lot of acceleration and speed in that close quarter play.
Wide angle for Culhane, but what a beautiful kick. They're keeping it close, the Highlanders. 12 minutes out from half-time. It's 10-9.
Expressionless Graham Henry sitting there in the air-conditioned room. He's no longer on the touchline.
Again, Timmins to do the leaping. Had to tip it as far as Oliver. Ball is loose. Secured by Olo Brown finally. Driven down solidly, but it's there for the Blues. Now Tonu'u. Spencer pops it up for Clark. He's already shown how dangerous he is today, Ronnie Clark. Tonu'u feeds off to Spencer. Nowhere to go. Chased by Timmins. Can't grab him. Now Lomu. Looking very much at 6s and 7s at the moment. The Blues need to organise themselves. Now Stensness. Long range drop kick. Doesn't look bad. Just under. And a restart from the 22.
Yes, Grant, you mentioned it, 6s and 7s. I'm not sure if it's that bad. It's more that they haven't really achieved any rhythm yet, any pattern. They've had very little ball, of course, in the game so far. And what they have had, they've been under big pressure. 44% possession, it said. That's a little more than I would have thought.
Culhane. Brook positions himself. Can't get it cleanly. Rush delivers for Stensness. Now Tonu'u. Didn't have anybody in support. Stensness now playing halfback. Spencer rips it across. Clark. Nice pass to Cashmore. Held up by Alatini. Clark again. Wilson drives under him in a lovely tackle. Carter's going backwards. They're all going backwards. Clark. Spencer. Jabs the kick down. He's the only chaser. Laney. Easily away, Laney. This is good stuff from Brendan Laney. Brings it back to his forwards. 15 out from the 22, and they start again. Duggan, Culhane, some wide open spaces with Tonu'u getting back. A little kick and chase. That's nicely done. Randall chases him. Now it's the two halfbacks, Duggan and Tonu'u. And Duggan will force.
It's an interesting little effort at play, wasn't it, by Junior Tonu? Magnificent, got in a desperate position and put a superb little kick over the top and regathered and then kicked it dead, unfortunately.
9 minutes out from half-time. Brook, dominant at kick-off time to Stensness. Vindiri comes in looking for work. Runs into Carl Hoft. Now it's Olo Brown. This will be against the Highlanders. They've come in from the wrong side. Referee playing an advantage. There may well be an advantage. Little back flip. Cashmore. Ball knocked away. And back comes the referee for the penalty.
No advantage there.
Shades of Colin Meads here. Robin Brook really coming to the fore as this Super 12 goes on.
Big charging run by Olo Brown.
Well, Murray, one of the things that must be concerning the Otago camp is the fact that they dominated those two stats we just saw in terms of territory and possession, but they're going to be behind on the scoreboard even more in a second, and that must be worrying Kane Randall.
Well, it is. It's a problem that every team has to deal with when they play Auckland. Even if they dominate possession, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win. I think Auckland are really concentrating on their D here, their defence, so it has been hard for Otago to break through. I was talking to Grant Fox before the game, and he said a lot of their effort has gone on their defensive pattern for this game. But yes, you've got to score tries, and you've got to accumulate points while you're getting the ball against a team like Auckland. Otherwise, sooner or later, as we all know, they manufacture tries from even maybe 10, 15, 20% of usable ball. They'll produce a try at the other end of the track.
Olo Brown looking a little uncomfortable on his left leg. In the meantime, Adrian Cashmore. Another penalty goal for Adrian Cashmore. He scored all 13 points for the Blues. It's 13-9.
Been very impressed with Robin Brook at kick-off time. We're about probably get to see another example of it now. But I think the Highlanders, Brendan Timmins in particular, not actually attacking the ball. And if you don't attack the ball against Robin Brook, if you let him get near it, he'll nail it every time.
Well, if you don't attack the ball, you've got to attack the man who takes the ball, and neither of those two things are happening, really.
But keep an eye on Olo Brown. I think he's in a fair bit of trouble. He's going to carry on, but I think he's struggling.
There's his blood. He's all right.
Definitely indicating he's going to stay on. Colin Hawke there saying you can't leave the field for an injury unless it's blood, but his left leg, somewhere around the shin, he's not happy on it.
Kick-off made down as far as Carter. 6 minutes from half-time. We've only had the one try in the match so far. Spencer, away for Clark. Pass to Spencer, beautiful. Now Lomu in a bit of space. Despairing dive by Kronfeld, managed to drag him in. 8 metres on the blue side of halfway. And the Highlanders can get their defence back and organise. Stensness to Brook. Makes a kick, very ordinary kick too. Laney gets a bad bounce, but able to tidy up okay. Why would a lock forward want to make a kick like that?
Exactly. Carlos Spencer creates doubt in the opposite defence by the way, the little shuffle of the hands when he has the ball, but Lomu through the hole, beautifully caught by Kronfeld. That's a perfect tackle for an open side flanker on the advantage line.
Andrew Roos. Danger time for the Highlanders. This is where the Blues strike normally, just before half-time. Lomu trying to wade his way through, hands it off to Wilson. Wilson puts the kick away. Clark is on his own. There's a few chasers coming, but he can just tip it out. Well, he won't have to. Nice work by Jeff Wilson.
Well, the defence was up close and tight. Wilson a little bit lucky to get that pass. It wasn't supposed to go to him.
Randall tipped it straight down. He didn't knock it forward. But apparently it was lost forward after that.
It's going to be clearly a knock on. And it wasn't. Hang on. Keep square, thanks, Auckland. Oh, no ball. No ball. No ball, no loss. Hold. Engage.
Tanu'u, as he's challenged by Kronfeld. Kick bounces back. Lomu and Wilson. Tries to fire it. Duggan gets it. Laney trying to run away from Stensness. Oh, it's broken down here. Vinderi chased by Leslie. Leslie won't have the pace. And Joeli Vinderi punishes the Highlanders. 3 minutes out from half-time.
So it all started with a kick. The rugby ball does some funny things, doesn't it? Look at that, back over Jeff Wilson's head. Lomu giving the pass, recovered by Duggan, and this is the damage here. Stensness making a desperate tackle, rolled out, and now it was all over Rover. Give it to Joeli Vinderi on the outside and close the door. He's going to score.
10th try this season for Joeli Vinderi. Look at the crowd behind him get up. They know it's all over. One of the fastest men around, and Joeli Vinderi gets the Blues' second try.
And so often they hurt a team just before half-time, and they've done it again. Take your hat off to Lee Stensness there. What a great tackle to spin the ball. And Vinderi just too much pace for John Leslie.
Well, it's been interesting. Brendan Laney, he's been a very deceptive, aggressive, attacking fullback. He's only kicked the ball once, and he's been in 3 or 4 desperate situations. That was another one. He was trying to make something of nothing, and he couldn't quite pull it off. The pass went to ground, and then this wonderful Auckland machine took over.
Outstanding kick from Cashmore. Vinderi's try converted, and look at the tenacious tackling there of Stensness. And Vinderi fingertip take. Leslie did his best, but he simply didn't have the pace. And Vinderi canters home. Taken down by Michael Jones from the kickoff. Rush it runs into solid defence on the 10-metre line, Blues territory. Tanu'u, Spencer, who wants to double. Up for Clark. Kronfeld's onto him. Handed back. Tanu'u. Stensness. Can't get outside hands on Oliver. Rush has a go at Randall, the 2 number 8s. Now Tanu'u. Tries to push a little kick forward. Now it's back in the arms of the Highlanders. Pops out for Duggan. Stanley gets in close, runs into Brook, gets away from Brook, hands it up to Randall. Oliver's there in support. 15 out from the 22. Duggan to Culhane. Leslie having a bit of a go. Pops it nicely for Cronfeld. Carter goes on him. It's there again for Duggan. Now they've got some numbers. Chance. Randall to Wilson. Blakey. Now it's time for some desperate defence from the Blues. Timmins throws himself 10 metres out from the line. Oliver goes another couple.
Well, a frantic little passage of play from both teams. Otago stringing together 3 or 4 rucks and putting heaps of pressure, seemingly having a good overlap here. Was great defence, I thought, from Vinduri. Only one man there. He closed down Randall. Wilson did well to flick it on, and this is where Otago kept it going, muscling it up, I suppose, but somehow not quite being able to clear that last ball. It's always that last ball, isn't it? The one that needs to be cleared to when the try appears imminent.
Anton Oliver to the sideline, or the blood bin, and they might have to get Devon Heaps on here because it'll be the last scrum of the first half. It's a big one for the Highlanders. And yes, they will get Devon Heaps, the man from Southland, who's warmed the bench most of the season.
Now, this is a crucial situation for Otago. They're well behind, 20 points to 9. They must score on the blink of half-time. Look at that back line stretched out there. I fear they have to use their backs.
Here they come. Culhane looking for Stanley. Shunting it through in midfield. They keep it coming, same way. No Timmins. Showing good power, Brendan Timmins. Now they get it there for Duggan. Vital passage of play. Stanley for Cronfeld. Slips away almost from Roos. They're going to get it again. Duggan has a little snipe himself.
Have a look at the defence of Auckland there.
Stanley. Blaney. Here's a chance. Randall's going to do it. Tane Randall just on half-time. And that is a big passage of play for the Highlanders.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, watch the replay. This man, Tane Randall, he looked like he was going to give a pass, but he had enough vision to see it, to see the moment. Josh Cronfeld nearly making it himself here, setting it up and making it available. But have a look at this. Good little pass. Now, Randall went to pass, saw the hole, and just opened it up. We saw him score a try just like that against Canterbury in the Canterbury versus the Highlanders match about 3 weeks ago.
This will be the last act of the first half. 40 minutes left at Eden Park, and it's a tight one. The Auckland Blues, the Otago Highlanders, a 4-point game at the moment, and 2 tries to 1. And boy, have we got a good 40 minutes. Murray Mexted.
Well, we have, haven't we? This Otago Highlanders, they've looked at the gear also. We spoke about Auckland having this high gear, and do the opposition have it? They have it. It's superb effort, superb example of that just before half-time when it's needed. It'll be interesting to see the way it starts in the second half. This kick-off area we've spoken about in the first half.
Carl Hoft waits. Brendan Timmins all waiting now for Colin Hawke. Away we go, second half. Well, Spencer makes the start. Lomu gets there to dispute possession, wins it well. Carter, they shift it on quickly as far as Clark. Looks out wide towards Vinduri, missing some tackles. Here's Carter, 10 metres out from the line. Strong start by the Blues. Olo Brown seems well recovered. Trying to set it. Handed off to Craig Dowd. They were waiting for him though. Once again it's tight, and they'll have to go to a scrum. But Auckland make a strong start to the second half.
Yes, and it all happened from the kickoff. Otago weren't able to secure it. Auckland cashed in big time, and now what a great position to attack from. This is a very, very big blindside here, and equally bigger, well, bigger again on the open side. But have a look at that. Have a look how many options they've got from the scrum here. They've got a number 8 they can move on the right-hand side, and they've got Vinduri looming there. And of course on the left-hand side, who have they got at the end of the chain? Yes, Jonah Lomu.
Inching up a couple of meters. Oh, they've lost it. Control was lacking. John Leslie. Kronfeld. Over the 22. Kronfeld. Finally dragged down by Spencer from behind. Pops back. Now Duggan. Alatini in space. Laney couldn't find the pass, and he's knocked it forward. Big chance for the Highlanders.
Big chance. Those are the chances you've got to take in finals rugby. Wasted ball by the Blues. Highlanders cashing in big time here. Kronfeld through the centre. He could have passed it. We can't see on that angle, but he set it up and the ball was quick. It still gave their space on the outside.
Rush will let this one go pretty quickly. Tonu'u to Lomu. Middleton couldn't get him, but Wilson's going to ride him down. In goes Culhane to try and secure it. Rush hands it back to Tonu'u. Spencer. Plenty of numbers here. Stetsness. Lee Stetsness. Try number 3.
That's the key to Auckland. Always organised, always got people there. The back line was spread. Lomu did the damage. He broke the front line of defence. He was desperately held by Wilson, who I guess did very well to hold him like that, but they got the ball back quick, and the Highlanders went back in defence. And here it is. We've got an overlap here. Stensons doesn't need the overlap here. As he's done all year, he takes the hole and dots it down beneath the sticks. He's had a great Super 12, Lee Stensons. Eye for a gap, blonde hair flowing, and of course all the creation of those gaps often by Carlos Spencer inside him and Aroni Clark on the outside.
They might have conceded a try just before half-time, but they're back in the second half very, very smartly. Conversion made by Cashmore, 27-16. And Lee Stensness gets the 3rd try for the Auckland Blues. Chance to bring in Buck Anderson, who had a chat at half-time with Tony Gilbert.
Just tremendous work from John Lomu there. Just the power of the man charging through to set up the original ruck for Stensness' try.
Big work there by Robin Brooke. Tonu'u waits. The try scorer. And this down as far as Laney. He wants it to go out, and it does. Yeah, Buck, you mightn't have heard me properly. Tony Gilbert, what did he have to say?
Tony Gilbert at half-time very happy with his team's first half performance. They know they can score tries, but he wants them to be more urgent going backwards. Get back to the ball quickly. He just feels that they're a bit slack with Bobley Ballin behind them. He wants that cleaned up, but just carry on the way they've been going. Graham Henry accused his team of ball watching. They're just standing there and letting Otago snaffle ball and take it to them. He wants more accuracy from his players and greater urgency, and he certainly got that with the opening try.
Highlanders, Culhane stabs it cleverly in behind. Beautiful work from Michael Jones. It was lost forward by Tonu'u. There's one of those classic Jones touches as he handed it up to Tonu'u, who sadly couldn't take the pass.
So often in a game of rugby, the timing is also important, and the timing says Otago Highlanders have to do something now. They have to score a try. They have to lift it a gear.
Duggan tries to duck under rush. 10-metre line Highlanders territory. Laney delivers away to Culhane. As far as Alatini, Stanley head on with Spencer, throws him away.
Yes, I won in the tackle.
I didn't touch it. That's the referee.
I didn't ask you. I said I wonder.
Well, it was interesting, wasn't it? Watch Jeremy Stanley. Just look how strong this man is. Threw Spencer off. and then charge a centre. Now this is where the gap came. There weren't enough Otago forwards over the ball. Auckland doing well, unlucky not to win the ball.
Randall takes it off the bat with support from Kronfeld. Now Hoft through the tackle of Rush. Unusual to see the Blues falling off tackles. They've missed a lot. Now Duggan. And there might have been somebody held there. Stanley, I think, was held back just for a brief moment. Kronfeld to Culhane. Fires it back to Alatini. Chased by Willis. Laney has it. Knocked on by Duggan.
Well, the mistakes coming under pressure. Highlanders desperate to find that hole. So look for a move on the short side from Tonu now. He's got Cashmore up with Vinduri. The scrum turns to make that very difficult now for them to go the short side.
Clever play there by the Highlanders. They realised the danger. They swung it away.
Well, they did, because Tonu dropped out into that hole you see between the scrum and where Cashmore, here he goes again. Now they're going the other way.
Dummy, away from the scrum. You can't run a dummy.
Mr. Hawke on a technicality, a little bit like a British referee. Blow the whistle whenever you get an opportunity.
Stanley hard in. Pops out for Duggan to feed Randall. Duggan digs it out again for Culhane. Now Leslie. Alatini. Not too many gaps in centre field. Kicked ahead by Spencer. Well read by Laney. Trying to fight his way out of Spencer's tackle. He's made a couple of appalling attempts lately. 10 out from the 22, but he's somehow come up with the ball. Away to Rush. Trying to hack it ahead is Culhane. Freed up by Clark to Vindiri. Stensness. Randall going back. Vindiri flying. And that'll be an early tackle. Colin Hawke in good position. And Lee Stensness, almost involuntary really, put his hand on the player.
Yes, well, it's all about pressure and the timing of the tackle, but it was a fraction early. Culhane getting an opportunity to stick it into touch to start again. There's a lot of heaving and panting going on the field now, and also on the sideline, I guess.
It's been a frenetic start to the second half. We've been going for 9 minutes. A lot of complaining going on. The referee is going to penalise the Blues.
It's closing out. There's pushing on the jumpers. Keep out of it.
There was pushing and shoving both ways in that line out. They really were physical. With no surprise with the big old ref call that the penalty's gone to the Highlanders. They really are the team in possession on a throw-in, aren't they? And should get the advantage.
Here's the change coming up. Tony Brown for Simon Culhane, made after 50 minutes in the game.
Yes, well, that's a very interesting sub, isn't it? Culhane coming off the field and moving on Tony Brown. I feel that the game has reached a stage where the Highlanders have to really scrap their way through the next sort of 25 minutes. And I remember hearing Tony Brown interviewed midweek, and they asked him how he was going to go, and he said, like a mad dog for 80 minutes. Well, he hasn't got 80 minutes. He's got to do that in the remaining 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Well, he had a smile from ear to ear as he came on, looked very delighted to be there and got great encouragement from Jeff Wilson as well.
Randall gets a clean take for the Highlanders. Oliver showing the power that he's shown all season. The ball was left behind for Brook to pick it up. Now the counter-attack comes. Clark taken down by Leslie. Handed away by Tanu'u for Stensness. Willis rips it away. There's Tony Brown. He likes the physical stuff, number 17. He's a very good defender. The Blues rumble it up a couple of metres. Tanu'u to Spencer. Keeps it low, but it's easy for Laney. Tries to get rid of Vindiri. In the end, it's Carter. Delivered up for Brown. Cashmore stays back. Just near the 22. Again, Laney. And that is out. Oh, hang on.
Well, it looked like it might have been on the line to me. On the line is out.
What did you say to him? He's told me something. Yellow card over here. We won't have people swearing at officials. I'm not going to repeat an effing cheat. It's not acceptable, I'm sorry. He's doing the job. You've got 10 minutes, okay? I'm sorry, that's the end of the matter.
In my opinion, that's a bit over the top. Colin Hawke used to be a traffic officer, acting like one at the moment. The heat of the battle, Junior clearly beside the ball, decided it was on the line's out. You can't blame him for being a little bit stressed. Doesn't deserve 10 minutes in the sin bin in a semi-final.
Well, the bottom line is that it's a shot at goal for the Highlanders. So Tony Brown, he's only been on the field a couple of minutes.
And while all that was going on, a substitution, Tony Gilbert showing his hand, Isitola marker on, Kelvin Middleton off.
Well, Graham Henry is going to be disappointed with the lack of discipline, Murray.
Well, I guess that's what it is at the end of the day, it's discipline. Although I thought it was pedantic of Colin Hawke, you've got to be able to control yourself even under the greatest stress. And if Tony Brown nails this 3 points, it'll give the Highlanders another feeling.
He's a lovely goal kicker. So that compounds the problem for the Blues. They're down to 14 men and they concede 3 points.
So this is Jonah Loma moving up with Robin Brook at the kickoff. This is more speed and size to the ball at the kickoff time. Let's see how he goes. Spencer, of course, so vital to put it about 12 to 15 metres, so his ball takers can get underneath that ball. And that's overkicked. Gives Cromfeld a free run.
Runs into Willis. It's a maul, so the Highlanders need to get it back, but they've made some ground anyway. Isitola Marker, the former Aucklander, loves to come up here and play for the Otago sides. Duggan with all the pace in the world. Now, which way to go? He's got Wilson somewhere there. He's also got Timmins. 22. Here's Marker again. Duggan to Brown. Leslie needs to draw a man. Leslie. Now they get it as far as Laney. Stanley. Big defence. Tronfeld rips it out. Laney comes again. Tries to straighten. Big chance here for the Highlanders against 14. It's up there for Duggan, and they'll get the scrum anyway.
It's a frantic pace the game's been played at. We had 3 or 4 forwards in the back line then just waiting for that ball to exit from that ruck. It didn't come. However, it remains a scrum to Otago. There's Rhys Duggan. He's electric, this guy. He's got wheels through the hole, looking for someone to pass to too. Or maybe not quite looking enough. Brendan Timmins wasn't expecting it, and he set it up. And this is the way it finished. With Jeremy Stanley clearing to Cromfeld. And then the setup by Brendan Laney again. So here it is, a great attacking situation for Otago. They need to score. Junior Tonu's in the sin bin. They're 8 points in arrears. They need a 7-pointer right now. I'm picking they're going to reel a scrum and have a go close to scrum and then move it from there. Let's see what happens.
A bit short on defence, the Blues, with Spencer having to play at halfback. Controlled by Randall.
See, clear it now. Okay, that's fair enough. Oh, look, he's got a scrum out of it. Yeah, well, it was going to be theirs anyway, wasn't it?
Interesting decision time for Randall, isn't it? Do we go wide and take advantage of the overlap we've got, or do we have a crack in close and see if we can catch Carlos Spencer out, playing out of position and at halfback?
Here goes Marker. Powerful player, Isitola Marker. Now it's there for Duggan. To Brown. Leslie almost through. Stanley just a metre short. Handed up for Duggan. Left it behind. And it's going to be the Blues ball. It was lost forward. Carter back for Spencer. What are they going to conjure up from here? Spencer tries to hand it back for Vinderi. Oh, that's dangerous. Cashmore. And that's the best result possible, really. There were very few Blues in sight.
Right, James, my heart's in my mouth. Auckland throwing caution to the wind, having a go behind their own goal line. Carlos Spencer just beating Tane Randall, not Cronfeld though. And this is a little bit dangerous here. The ball goes loose.
Oliver, clearly taken by Randall. Got it down as far as Timmins. Here's Oliver again. The goal line is only 8 metres away. Duggan. Now Brown up to Alatini. Big tackle over the top by Michael Jones. And it's turned over.
Everyone's on the ground. We're just having a tackle. That's all we're having.
Crucial referee's decision. He called it a tackle situation. So therefore, was it Auckland going forward for the turnover?
Well, once again, Murray, that glorious confusion that reigns at the tackled ball. Nobody seems to know. Tane Randall wanted to know what was going on.
Just a wee stoppage here. Good chance to ask Murray just how big a game is Josh Cronfeld having, Murray. Outstanding for me.
Well, he is. I mean, we all know he's an absolutely superb footballer, and there's been a lot said this week about their open side flankers, and all those people that criticise Carter as an open side flanker don't know much about loose forward play. It's just that these two players are so different. Josh Cronfeld is a scavenger. He creates so much ball, he's so constructive, but as you say, Smithy, today he's having a huge game in defence as well. He's pulling off tackle after tackle. Carter's a runner, a free roamer with the ball, a support player.
Oliver's off at the moment, and Heaps is back there. Here's Spencer at halfback. He's still in. And beautifully claimed by Stanley. So the Highlanders should have this back. They have. Duggan for Brown. Leslie. Leslie straight across to Wilson. Wilson on the outside, and Wilson's in.
Well, the Otago Highlanders have been asked the question twice. Score the try when the moment's right, and the moment was right then. And Jeff Wilson, he knows that. He knows he had to score. He had Vinderi on his shoulder, but he did the damage anyway. John Leslie made it with the big pass. Sorry, that was Lomu, desperate in defence, but Wilson did it, didn't he? Now watch Leslie run across the field, draw everybody, and throw it to Wilson with a gap there. Wilson was determined. He had to get to the goal line. The ball was in the right hand, away from Lomu, and he made it, and he knows it. He's pleased about it.
What a finisher. Jeff Wilson, 6 tries in his previous 3 games. He's on the board again. And boy, what a semi-final we've got now. Magnificent kick from Tony Brown. It's a one-pointer.
Isn't it extraordinary? All week we've had the talk about it's against the odds. How could Auckland not win this game? And this is how, ladies and gentlemen, this is how. This Otago tenacity, superb spirit and team culture they've got. They never say die. They're worthy semi-finalists.
The finish comes from Jeff Wilson.
Meanwhile, back to the party.
The ball is there for Marker. He's a real impact player, and he's made a huge impact. Really taking the Blues on, but not releasing the ball. Junior Tanu'u still waiting to get back. They have conceded.
How often, Grant, do we see in Super 12 rugby players sent to the sin bin, and while the side is short-staffed, tries are scored? We've had 10 points now to the Highlanders while Junior Tanu'u's been in the sin bin, and that's just allowed the Highlanders to get right back into the game.
Yes, I wasn't sure about that penalty. Aisatola Market set it up and rolled the ball back. It was the second player, I think, who came in that Mr. Hawke picked on. So an interesting position. Auckland ahead by 1 point only, so they're looking at the penalty. They're looking at the 3 points. It's within the range of Cashmore. Dead-Eye Dick, he's been very consistent since he took over the goal kicking from Carlos Spencer. And remember, he's got a tailwind as well.
So back to 15 men per side. Already 2 tactical changes made by Tony Gilbert. Mike Meeker waits his turn. Davin Heap's still there, but Anton Oliver's ready to come back. Very good-looking kick. And the lead is out to 4 points now for the Blues. And we've still got 18 minutes left in the match.
Beautiful kickoff.
Tipped down by Kronfeld. Snaffled by Leslie, handed away by Oliver, getting it wide quickly to Wilson, having a go on the outside of Lomu, got Alatini in support. Desperate defence for the Blues again. And out it goes. Which way will the arm go? It's Auckland Blues ball.
Well, Jeff Wilson, he's into this game. I've never seen him so keen. He just wants a bit of everything, inside, outside. Have a go at Lomu, why don't you? Alatini, how did you hold that pass?
Deep throw for Brook to take. Blues still have it. Tanu'u. Wilson waits. Lomu looks to be lining him up. Oops, a bit of a hurry, but he finally got it to Brown. Now Stanley on Vindiri. Jeremy Stanley tried to get the kick in. Good hands from Vindiri. And Cashmore runs it out.
Yes, well, hard to see on your screen. Cashmore couldn't do anything but run it out because it was covered on the inside by Kronfeld. Ever present. Wilson trying to get rid of it just a little bit too soon, I think, but Tony Brown did it. And Jeremy Stanley on his home track.
Everything to play for in the last 16 minutes of the match. Duggan, but intervened by Kronfeld. And he's got rid of a few of them too. Marker dragged down by Brown. Timmins hands off to Brown. Leslie again with that power in midfield. Now they somehow need to get it to ground and get it back.
That's a turnover. The referee calling a maul.
Cashmore pleased to be able to boot it away downfield. Stanley is back. He's got Vindiri bearing down on him. Well, here it is for Cashmore. Well, that's a funny old try. Jeremy Stanley wanted the ball to go out. He might say to the referee, what about the tackle? I didn't have the damn thing. However, Adrian Cashmore has scored the try.
Let's have a look at it in replay. So close to the touchline. No, it's not there. Well, certainly taken out, wasn't he? But Cashmore saying, I don't care, I'll take the try anyway, and he did, with a smile from ear to ear. Wonderful try, Auckland. From the jaws of, well, I was going to say defeat. I wouldn't say that with the Auckland Blues. But under big pressure, Auckland come away with a try again.
Well, one of the first things I noticed when the try was awarded, Josh Cronfield, I always keep my eye on him. He went straight to Steve Walsh, the touch judge who was running this touchline, and had him on about it. And Steve Walsh was unrelenting about the whole thing. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Stanley didn't have a fair chance at playing the ball. Taken out.
Couldn't agree with you more, Ian. I was right in line with it, and he never touched the ball at all. When Derek took him out without the ball, should have been a penalty to the Highlanders. Auckland are riding their luck and got the points, however.
Well, that'll be talked about for, well, all week anyway, I'm sure. Cashmore bangs it through, 37-26.
Yes, and as they say, it's all history now. Doesn't matter who complains, she's all over, and what you have to do is pick up the ball and start again. And that's what I'm sure this Otago team will do. So how much it changes, doesn't it? Once, all of a sudden, you're 11 points behind.
Here's the kickoff made by Tony Brown, down as far as Brook. There's only 13 minutes left in the game now.
So what we have here is a maul, according to the referee. Looks pretty obvious to me. And what that means, if Auckland don't clear the ball and it stops, it's a turnover. So the question is, where's the ball? Doesn't Otago arm around the ball?
Now they've got it. Spencer. Laney. Venderi bearing down. And Laney had no other option.
Yes, well, it's so easy, isn't it, for a defender to think, well, let the ball go into touch, it'll be out throw, and we'll get the ball back again. And Brendan Laney obviously not prepared to do that at that time because of what's just happened. So he picks it up, puts it out, now it's Auckland ball.
Clever flick by Brook onto Carter. Now Tonu'u. Stensness. Very good with that little kick forward, but this is miles too far. In fact, if they let it go, they'll get a scrum back.
Are we seeing just a bit of a change in the Auckland tactics as we move into the last 10 minutes, 12 minutes of the game, starting to kick the ball in behind and just force the ball deep into Otago territory, say, well, you've got to score a couple of tries, you've got an awful long way to run to do it.
Injury break here for Michael Jones.
Yes, the old warrior, we haven't seen much of him today. His forte, of course, these days is his close quarter play. His perception, his anticipation of where the ball's going to be, where the tackle is. When the ball is given air and space like it has today, it's hard for a blindside flanker to figure prominently in the match.
Andrew Blower's not required just yet. Jones back in position. Away goes Marker. Gets rid of Carter. Carter has to come and go and get him again. Pops out for Timmins. Now Duggan frees it up for Brown. The little push, but Cashmore's read it well, but Brown will go at him hard and does. Marker also hits him hard.
Yes, he's on fire, Isatola Marker. He's the ideal impact player, of course. We talk about impact, but he's made one since he's been on.
Now Stensness. A bit off the side of the boot this time, but he's judged it okay.
Don't be surprised if Michael Jones's game is fast coming to an end. He's really struggling out here at the moment. He's taken no part in the last couple of bits of play and holding his chest, going towards the sideline.
Yes, I think the replacement's coming now for Michael Jones. The player, as we all know, dogged by injuries throughout a great career. And the replacement is Andrew Blowers.
Mighty leader this year. He's really done the job in the absence of Sean Fitzpatrick and Zinzambrook. He's certainly done the job. They've weathered the storm so that the Auckland Blues can roll on relentlessly.
Randall tips it off the top of the line out. Here's a gap for Laney. Quickly to Stanley. Stanley and Cashmore. Taken from behind by Ronnie Clark. Desperate search for the ball. Timmins flicks it back for Leslie. They've got a big line-up here. They've just got to get rid of it. Here's Marker. Marker takes on Lomu and does him. Marker. Back they come again, the Highlanders.
Impact player. Perfect. Just when everybody thought it was all over, 11 points in 11 minutes. Have a look at this. Brendan Laney gives the pass. Jeremy Stanley should have lost the ball here, but have a look at Cromfeld. Boom, knocks him over. And then the ball comes back, and they spun it the right way, to the right-hand side. I thought Marker had made a mistake. I thought he should have given it to Wilson on the outside. He had a go himself, and he thought, no, I can do it. And didn't he plant it?
Big, powerful Isitola Marker can't make the starting lineup. But 6 tries in Super 12, 1998. The Highlanders stay in it. Getting a bit nervous on the bench, perhaps. A big kick again for Tony Brown. Unconverted try. 37 to 31. It's a thriller at Eden Park. Didn't like it.
Isitola Marker's had a great game since he's come on, really acting as the impact player, bursting through and fine reward from a try. But what terribly soft work from John Olomu really on defence. Should have nailed him, but just never really got near him.
I've never seen the Auckland Blues miss so many tackles in one afternoon. Duggan. Here's Marker again. Lomu lets him past again. Duggan digs in, and there's a hand in there.
Number 1. Hands in.
So 8 minutes and 19 seconds left on the clock. That's the ground clock. And a converted try for the Highlanders to put their nose in front. So they're going to plug the touchline. Good reasoning, good sound reasoning. There's plenty of time, no reason for panic for them. Marker's looking powerful, isn't he?
Timmins fires it off the top as far as Marker. Duggan to Randall to Cronfeld. They've worked magnificently in unison this afternoon. Now Brown. Cashmore read it well again. Charged. Timmins. Away for Leslie. Left it behind and knocked it on. Playing advantage. Clark. Jabs the little kick down. And they'll go to the lineouts. Well, Brendan Timmins and John Leslie almost conjured up another one.
Didn't they just? I thought at the time when it was kicked by Highlanders, you don't kick the ball back to Auckland. The little chip over the backs hasn't really worked. This man Cashmore's positional play's been superb, but funny things happen, don't they? And it was so close, so close.
And hasn't Brendan Timmins had a great game? A lot of hit-ups with the ball. That little piece of play there, a little flick earlier on. He's really come on, the man from Paiatua.
One of the special heroes of the day for the Highlanders, Alatini. Look at Cronfeld there to rip it away. John Blakey makes a metre or so. Here's Marker again. He's all over the place. Isitola Marker. Cronfeld gets up. 8 metres in the Blues territory. Duggan. Leslie. Up for Laney. Elusive runner Brendan Laney. Alatini. Oh, they crossed over. Accidental offside. And the Blues can breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, so disappointing, I would say, because Laney made the hole and gave the pass, and this is where the accidental offside came. or accidental obstruction, should I say.
Here's Rush to Tanu'u. Can't beat Duggan. Knocked on by one of the Blues players. Kronfeld to Blakey. Blowers takes him down. Now Brown. Leslie. Laney again. Here they come again. Brown. Wonderful continuity. Randall is just in Blues territory. Duggan digs in once more. Leslie. Quick hands to Kronfeld. And a forward pass.
Yes, and we are sitting where the camera shot is from now, and that was certainly forward, about a foot forward, I think. This is the one. Yeah, just forward to Kronfeld. Well, they're throwing everything at the Aucklanders. The Highlanders are. They seem to have plenty of energy. Of course, when you've got the ball in hand, it gives you that little bit extra energy. It's hard at this stage when you're the defending team. Blues really need to get their hands on some ball. They haven't had much, really, have in the last 10 minutes. We need to get some ball, control it a little bit, and slow down this frantic pace that the Highlanders are lifting the game to.
Couldn't agree more, Murray. It's time for the All Blacks within the Blues pack to really take control, get their hands on the ball and just don't let it go for the next 5 minutes.
I must say that it's been a great refereeing display, though, by Mr. Hawke, because we've had a great game. He's played the advantage law liberally, and you have to today.
Look at the power. That's a tight head. They pushed the Blues pack back. And Marker has come away with it. Now Duggan to Brown. Up to Leslie. Trying to hold Stensoners off. Randall gets there to assist. Now Duggan to Brown again. The little kick for Wilson. Cashmore going across. And that's all he can do. But how often this season have you seen the Blues pushed off the ball?
Well, if the Highlanders get up, put it down to that scrum. That was a tremendous scrum from that young front row. They absolutely buried the All Black counterparts.
There's a bemused look in the front, in the forwards' eyes on this Auckland Blues side. They're not used to be under this pressure, not at semi-final time anyway, because that gear they lift normally carries them through.
Blakey is the line-out taker. They've had all the ball in the last 5 minutes. Brown across to Alatini, looking for Leslie to get through midfield. Kronfeld is there again. Ball bounces loose for Rush. The Blues get it back. No, Tanu'u loses it. Brown gets it back. Freed up. Laney wants to go the short way. Runs into Tanu'u. Wrestled down in a big tackle. Wilson clears. Nobody home back there. Clark goes after it. There are bodies strewn all over the place. They've got it clear to Marker. Holds it up, shovels it back. Duggan. Leslie with a little push. Lomu goes back. And he calls for the mark.
Jonah Lomu, they say he can't turn around and defend. Well, there's a classic example. Congratulations, Jonah. Beautiful. Under big pressure, big heat, and calls the mark. Steadies the ship, slows it down.
And I'm surprised referee heard the call for mark from John Olomu. The noise down here is absolutely deafening at the moment.
Gives it back to Spencer to make the kick. And that's not a bad kick either. Big distance.
But once again, a kick from a mark means that the opposition have the throw-in, so Otago will come away with this ball. Ground clock running down to 2 minutes.
Oliver gets it right. Timmins drags it down. Duggan off to Oliver. Duggan again. A well-oiled machine at the moment, the Highlanders. Duggan. Brown, Leslie. Brown again. Laney. Look at the ball handling here. Laney's hard to take down. John Blakey didn't expect it, but he got it anyway. Pops back for Duggan. Brown. Brooks a mile offside. Kronfeld in midfield. 10-metre line. It's going to come again. Brown Laney. Oliver just slows it down a wee bit. Back for Duggan, looking to accelerate. Brown couldn't get it. Blakey's got it again. Wonderful continuity. Case Muse. Now they've got a chance. Laney looking to get away from Brown. Stanley, like a game of basketball. It's all over the show. Now Wilson. Straight at Spencer. Drags a few more in. Freed away again for Marker. Tonu'u can't make the tackle. Stanley. Oh, the pass almost as far as Timmins. And he lost it forward. Goodness gracious me.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was the ball game. There it was sitting there, and the ball was lost forward. You'll see it on replay. Have a look. Jeff Wilson using a bit of aggression here to set it up. He had no option. He did it well. There was overlap after overlap here, and Marker broke that line. Look at that, and he kept the ball alive. Great pass, and so did Jeremy Stanley, and that's where it was. Brendan Timmins had the try, and of course the conversion by Tony Brown would have been academic. He's proven that in the past, and that would have been the point. The ground clock showing 23 seconds. Auckland scrum.
He was home, Buck, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and his head is down. Can they produce another scrum?
They'll give it a go.
Interesting, John Blakey, his locking partner, and locking pairs tend to get together. Went straight up, wrapped his arm around Brendan Timmins, said, come on, mate, we've got to get going here. We've got one last chance at a scrum. That's the spirit the Highlanders have shown throughout the game.
Those two guys have been absolute heroes this afternoon, Blakey and Timmins. Tonu'u feeds. Spencer makes the kick. Everybody looks at Colin Hawke. Still time to go, and it's Highlanders' ball.
Colin Hawke has just said this is it. This is the last time the ball will be in play.
Buck Anderson right across there, so the throw's got to be right. It is. One last throw of the dice for the Highlanders. Brown across into midfield. Laney needs to tidy up. They're getting bustled. Back it goes to a Ronnie Clark. So the Blues have possession, and they know too that all they got to do is get rid of it, boot it out, and they're in the final. I'm sure Junior Tanu, the ball's there for him. Charged. Whistle goes, and the game is over. The brave effort from the Otago Highlanders is over, and the Blues make the final in 1998 for the third consecutive year.
It's certainly been one of the epic second half performances we've seen from a very, very meritorious Highlanders side. They certainly showed their spirit and their determination to bounce back. They were asked the question twice, I thought, in this game. Both times they answered with tries. They were in there big time. I've very rarely seen the relief on the look of Auckland players like I saw them when the full-time whistle went. This has been a classic second half, a classic semi-final, finishing 37-31 to the Blues on a beautiful Eden Park.
So the Auckland Blues will host the final here next weekend. It's just a question of who against. Will it be the Sharks or the Crusaders? The final score 37-31. Cashmore got a couple. The second was controversial, to say the least. Vinderi and Stensness, and Cashmore with 7 goals. And for the Highlanders, Randall Wilson and Marker, Culhane and Brown shared the kicking duties. 37-31.